following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Hello, Internet. Good evening, Redverse, Hazy Boy, Zoidpinhead, Demon's Up, and Jill. Welcome. I hope audio levels are fine. Some of you may have noticed the very lack of Jerry because he's coughing and being very, very sickly. So let's give the old man a rest. And also, hello, my dog Skip. I'm not sure what kind of ad they're showing. For whatever reason, when I go and watch stuff on Twitch, I get weird commercials like body spray and weird things to eat I've never heard of before. Very strange things. So how is everybody doing? Hope some of you are doing hobby, as I can't be asked. And obviously, biggest problem for me personally in the hobby space is the forums is down. Forums not working. How am I supposed to bring out my rants into the world if the forums don't work? Hello, Crispin. Welcome, Deadly. Zodpinhead is building a chariot from Ralpatha Legacy. Hello, Mr. Dutch. Well, Ben, I think Ben is still on holiday, question mark. Is he back this week? I don't know. Maybe, perhaps. And just for the record, I really hope Tom doesn't lose too much sleep over the collecting technical debt of 4 years of running a outdated website. Yes, the revolution could have been glorious. It's almost like a conspiracy, like they don't want us to be in the forums. Good evening, Mr. Monkey Goblin. I do not know that word that you were using, Crispin, and I'm not sure I really want to look that up. Mr. Knutz, hello. Yeah, it's like, oh no, the peasants are rising. Quick, pull the lever. Wrong lever, Gronk. I feel like there hasn't been happening very much in the last week, or did I miss something? Oh no, blocked the ad but lost the chat. Well. Final Fantasy IV? Who's that, Crispin? Oh no, you Fantastic Four. Blah. Yes, James, you found a sale. No, it's not a fire sale, and that shop is missing a lot of items that are currently new. Indeed, Mel has been up to 3 videos now since his reappearance. I think he still needs to get back on the horse. He still feels a bit unsecure, but I guess that's yeah, but that's the thing. You do good, Mel. You continue your journey on the interwebs. Now, let's see if this beer is still any good. Don't forget to hydrate. So, since the forums are not working, where do we get our news now from? And just in case somebody just noticed, if you're going onto the OTT on the Beast of War on tabletop.com website and you go into the forums, if you're not logged in or you join in a thread you haven't posted in, everything seems to be fine. But the second you post something, it throws an exception and goes poof. News stories. Are there any news? uh, insert usual proper forum run. Yes. But to be fair, if a forum had been left unsupervised that long as has the website been, I think Tom would be fighting the same technical debt demons. Yeah, that's the thing. If you join into any forum thread you haven't been part of before, it looks always fine and you can post, but that's about it. No, we're done past that, especially since Tom is doing his darndest to get the thing running again. So fingers crossed. Technical difficulties is Thursdays, James. I'm not even sure that making new threads is possible right now. I haven't tried that. Oh, Wonky Goblin, we had that discussion years ago again and again. There's Simple Machines Forum, there's PHP board, and various different things. Yeah, let's not go there. This could be an endless rant about software not being developed anymore. What did I do since last week? I can't even remember. I think I played a game of Frostgrave. Yes, exactly. I did play a game of Frostgrave, and we started a campaign. And first game, I actually won by a slight margin. Yes, Dutch forums can have paywalls as well. Though to be fair, that could be also made manually to degrees. James played Space Weirdos. Was that the one with the stacking of the dice? Or was that the other one? I think that's. I think my mind is going to a different game there. This Space Weirdos one. Wow. Yeah, Joe, that's the one I'm thinking about. What the flock was it called? And I think he release the rules as an early PDF of some kind. Let me check my Kickstarter. I know the Kickstarter is done and he's working his way. Space Kids, that's the one. Space Kids. Oh, today I saw a Kickstarter for something that is so useless, it's bonkers. You all know these very expensive tables for board game users where you have your recessed areas where you can put a, a plate on to use it as a regular table while not making any changes to your gaming setup. Somebody is currently making a Kickstarter and you can 3D print all the parts to make a tabletop game topper. Why? Hello, James Stockwell. Welcome. It's such a. Let me see if I can find this really quick. Where did I see that story? Not that one. Bloody hell, where's it going? Who? It's odd. Oh, there. Highty, tighty, tighty, and now to find that bloody. Oh no, I'm going to the wrong way. Hold on a sec. Be patient. Talk among yourselves. Fucking hell. Found it. Let's get rid of the reference. And then... Hello, Zorg. Yes, there was a PC game called Spores. Spores was a game by... was it Peter Molyneux? And it basically, you started as a tiny little bacteria, and then there was a big evolution game. I think it's Electronic Arts. So, let me see if this works now. The Omni 6 modular game topper. Can I... Where is it there? Does it run? Or does it don't? Oh, Grant, does not work. Oh, there it is. I mean, the concept is interesting, but it's just a giant toy box you plonk on your table. Yeah, the print times is actually something that came as a mention on a podcast where they showed this before, and were going, yeah, how long will this take to be made? And the best thing is, there's a table in here somewhere where it depicts how much filament you need. Where is it? Where is it? Can we all see that? Yes. Can I ambiguate that? Maybe. A wee bit. So, if you put these numbers together, we're about 4, 7, 9, 13.5 kilograms of filament. Yeah, Redverse, that was my initial thoughts exactly. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, and this is just... It's bonkers. Is it funded? Let me guess. Oh. Yeah, seems like the Kickstarter has ended already. Didn't notice that. $111,000 of a $1,000 goal. No, it's 2.8 for 4 corners if you look at the table correctly. It says 4 on the right. So it's 0.7 of a kilo per corner. Point 1.2 if you go with the optional storage on the bottom. Yeah, it's I mean, yeah. Yeah, so if Lloyd starts building Rome now, I'm guess he's good in a good company of getting Rome done before any part of that table is printed. James wishes Jerry was here for this. Well, Jerry said he would be in the comment section, so maybe he has just spat out his drink and has ruined minis he wanted to build. I don't know. And this is exactly what I know. It's too far gone. I can see the appeal of the play space panels, which is a grid where they have terrain tiles that slot in. So you're getting, where was it? These terrain tiles slot into the lower parts. That I can get behind. That's an interesting take of making sure your modular terrain is not slipping around anywhere. That's okay. I can see the point, but man, $69 for all the files they give you, and then you print out 20 odd kilos of filament. I'm not sure how much filament costs currently, so your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. Let's see. Can I find something like that? On the quick side, let's go to my favorite price comparison. Let's go with ABS plastics. 60 euros per kilo. Seems interesting. The cheapest one I can currently see is 12 euros per kilo. It's still over $100 just for printing out the example. It's, yeah. Let's go for just for the sake of it, say 10 euros per kilo, and you need 15 for a decent sized table with all the nice thingy bits. That's 150 plus prints that go wrong, and 69 is the STLs. So at that point, we have crossed the 200 mark. €200 for a plastic topper to plank on top of your regular kitchen table. It's just I just if at any point you don't like that thing, it's just a giant pile of plastic crap. Oh, I believe those nice silly badges are not even in the calculation they've done. Oh, I'm pretty sure it will survive beer, but as they've said in the podcast I've listened today to where they mentioned this, if there's anything going into those crevices and details, you'll be sitting there ages with your toothbrush trying to get anything clean again. And God forbid you have put any effort into painting that thing. It's just no. For 200 euros, I reckon you can get a nice, decent sized table. Or maybe even uh, buy yourself some proper wood and build a topper yourself. I don't know how fast I can delaminate. My biggest question would be which plastic will be the most brittle after, let's say, a year in the sun. The lesson there is not to put stuff in your crevice. Uh, Zero cup holders, just some inserts to put in a bottle of sorts in the corners of the table. No, don't make Warren see that. I think that's potentially dangerous for Justin's health and John's. And given the time, how long that takes to print that thing, I'm pretty sure you can build this thing faster just from wood. Osmotic Meld launched a new Kickstarter, says Zoidpinhead. Oh, that's an interesting one. Let me show you. Look. Danley, that's a good one. 5-day course, £475. Learn how to make your own table. That's a very nice looking weird knight, to say the least. Oh, let me just put you back. Where's I need to go here and here. Where did you go? That's also one. Ah. So there are two different Kickstarters that came to my mind. There's the Goblin City Part 1. Sadly, this one is charging an arm and a leg for bringing stuff over to Europe. And I'm not sure about you, but I feel this one looks very much like the goblins from what do you call it? Labyrinth, Jim Henson. Lovely one-piece metal casts by Rossi Sculpts. £19 a pop. Yeah, rest of the world £15 shipping. That's yep, UK shipping 5, so 24 quid for these two lovely metal jobbies. But I'm pretty sure I know where Jerry has been spending money today. Where is it? The Lich Knights. So, which backer number will Jerry be having? 1, 2, or 3? It's Westphalia weirdos all over again. That's an interesting link. Let me see if I can plonk it down. Jesus Christ! People buy houses for that money. That's silly money. Let's not go there. I didn't, James. I looked at Hardware. It looks interesting, but not 3 digits interesting. Dutch, I think in the US you can get weird tiny houses for that kind of money. Because after all, they're just built with paper and plywood. Or a very, very old house. Oh, this is turning into, let's look at Kickstarter and yell at them because they make weird stuff. $500,000? Before I show this to the audience, haven't they done this before? I feel like I've seen this before. I'm pretty sure I've seen similar Kickstarter last year, also from Canada. I mean, the concept is interesting, but yeah, these people never had any children or pets in their living rooms, obviously. This tower wouldn't stand a chance with cats in your home. Plus 230 euros for one shelving unit for games. Hard pass. Yeah, it's a CD rack for board games. No, Zoidpin head, it's basically the same. The only difference is that stacking method actually lets you pull out one in the middle without the tower collapsing, but that's all. Yeah, Jill, it's like one of those. I feel those are the kinds of product for people with way too much disposable income. But if you got the money to spend and you're not hurting in any other way, by all means, put your money back into circulation. Don't hoard it. Yeah, but Dutch, IKEA tells you to bolt them to the wall because the shelving itself weighs basically nothing and kids could be climbing on them. Those, I think, were made of steel, so they should have a reasonable tipping point. But then again, who knows? Let's reinvent the bookshelf, yeah. To be fair, most of weird commodities in our hobby could be DIY'd in more or less a simple way. But yes, Dutch, it's a lever, but the if I looked at that correctly, the bottom plate is solid piece of metal. So that should alleviate the tipping point a wee bit, unless you actually have a toddler that's taking this thing as a challenge and is trying to climb it. Oh, James is on a roll. There's another one. How bad is that one? What do they fall? 800 buckaroos. No, we're not even giving this one any more attention. 5e compatible. That's the most stupid thing I've ever heard in regards to a table. No, no, no. To be fair, had I the space and the money, a living room table that has a recessed area for gaming is an interesting thought, but not for that kind of money. I think that's been a trend for, I think, before COVID. People spending way too much money on tables made for gamers. No, I'm not going there, James. You can't make me. I'm ignoring that link. I mean, if we go past a 4-digit number, I'm pretty sure at that point you can pay a carpenter to custom DIY one for you. I feel that yes, they are great for demo tables and gaming clubs and anywhere else where you need basically a table with walls on it so your stuff doesn't fall down. Oh, the Geeks and Sons were those who were 3,000 and up, I feel. Demon's Up, that's a pretty good analogy. A snooker table with a felt removed. And if you have the space to put a snooker table into your living room, just putting a big plonk of wood on top of it as a dining room table would work. Or proper size tables isn't the big problem. The problem is finding one that is looking good, is stable, not made out of scraps or compressed wood, and is not breaking the bank. Especially the last point seems to be a problem with solid made furniture in any kind of relationship. Are your tables made of wood or out of compressed scraps? Mine is solid wood. Yeah, 6x4 is a wee bit much. Demon's Up has a folding carry table and 2 pieces of MDF for gaming, which I find is the most used version of gaming stuff. James has a solid birch kitchen worktop. That's my workspace in the garage. That's a solid piece of wood for. It initially meant for the kitchen, but I just put legs under it and made it a workbench. Yes, MDF is fucking heavy, but you know what? It won't move. It won't bend. Yeah, that's the biggest um disappointment. The biggest drawback of my current living situation is there's no space for a dedicated living room table that's good for gaming. So if I'm having any games at home, we use the kitchen table, which is extendable, which helps a lot. Oh, things that get used here around a lot are these three-part fold tables you can that you usually use for doing wallpapering, because they're 60 by 90. So if you put three next to each other, you've got 90 by 180. Yeah, James, that's almost the same that our gaming club does it. Though I'm not sure about the piece of wood they put on. I don't think it's MDF. It's actually this very thin compressed stuff you've got on the back of cupboards and desks. Not desks. Oh, my brain. Closets. A snooker table from Argos. Wardrobes. Yes, Jill, thanks. That's one of those. You know, the flimsy backwood that's in the back of those. That's mostly used. I'm not sure it's hardboard. But then again, Langua Gahard. Could be HDF, yes. No. So have we now all got our share of ranting about expensive tables? Where do we go next? We haven't complained about Games Workshop a lot recently, but I feel that's too low a bar. No, James, I'll have you banned for that. Yeah, the starter sets are tempting, and I did a calculation on how much these are compared to buying the boxes that are in them separately way back when, and they are actually a good bargain. So if you're looking for bolstering your armies, or really actually getting into Star Wars Legion, I think these are a good jump off. Cool Mini or not, are they still alive? Do they still have any IPs to sell? Was it Cool Mini or not who went on a little fisticuff exchange with Six More Vodka? Or was it a different company? I think it was Cool Mini or not and Six More Vodka, wasn't it? Oh, and speaking of Six More Vodkas, I'm under no way able to talk about their games. I've no interest in them. I've never looked at them. Jerry would be much better suited to talk about them. But I dare you to look at Six More Vodka's homepage and not get a seizure. Whoever designed that thing is a lunatic. That's just unbearable. And by any stretch of the imagination, I can't believe I don't believe this thing is accessible to anybody with any kind of visual impairment. It's a nightmare. Yes, Demon Sub, D-Genesis is one of them. It's not artsy. It's fucking, hey, look how cool I can make your screen go blinky blinky. It's just, no. I get it. You are a visually interesting company. But man, if I want to find out about your product, stop your homepage pestering me. I want to have a thing to click on and then jump to somewhere else. It's Peter Pig is a contrast. I'm guessing this is one that looks like oh fucking hell. Oh, this is the that's a to say this is a stark contrast. So no, we need to have this as a comparison. Hold on to your butts. So, where's my windows? There's my windows. So this blinky, hectic, weird thing, let me just put you aside so I can see the webpage. Now I'm just using my mouse here and going, oh, famous work, and blinky blinky, and blinky blinky, and arg. Arg. And now, Peter Pig. I'm not sure where he found these old animated buttons. But I gotta say, this is... Whoa. Videos of games and product. Rules videos. Where does this take us? We go to YouTube. Why has he only got 779 subscribers? 780. I look at this, and then we go here. For fuck's sake. Oh. Yeah, I feel like I'm really tempted more often than not to just go back and code a web page purely based on HTML. You're correct, Zoipanet. Neither actually shows you any product. But then again, Peter Pink is not attacking your eyeballs. Oh, please, Stanley, don't push that poor man. Oh, MySpace. Yeah, that's back in the day. You lot surely most of you will remember those little icons we had on homepages where it said, optimized for Netscape Navigator, best viewed with Internet Explorer. Well, the loading time for pictures, Nightwolf, was actually a problem with your dial-up, not potentially the homepage. Though I was very annoyed when I found out that you could actually upload smaller pictures and they would look no different. Is that also something? Yeah, animated under construction banners and what was the other thing? The very broad blood dripping one and the flames and all that weird. We could be asked checking this on another browser. when people started to use WYSIWYG website editors, it just spewed out HTML code that wasn't compliant. and the very early homepages that were programmed on a tiny 640 by 480 monitor, and once you got higher resolutions, all of a sudden you had repeating patterns in the background and everything looked crap. I do remember that when I started learning my trade, that a colleague who was actually designing stuff had a background picture, where he measured the screen resolutions so that he could scale the browser window to see if at any point the design would be broken. I used Phase 5, the HTML editor, way back when. And at times, what Netscape had a composer as well. Can't remember how that was called. Oh yeah, Microsoft front page. That's a good one. The company I learned my trade in did early versions of online shops, and when they used front page to edit the starting page, front page would add a invisible icon on the very lowest bottom of the page, but that wreaked havoc on the back end of the shop system. So if they put out the exported HTML files directly, the shop would crash. So they had to go in to the HTML file, remove this one part, and put it back in. It's just. Jill, I think both are equally bad. Squarespace, I haven't tested personally, but it's scalable, and you have to worry less about things going outdated because they implement the backend. On the other hand, WordPress, if you host it yourself, you can do whatever you want. Well, let me rephrase that. Squarespace can't be that bad because some technical YouTubers I'm following run ads for them, and they wouldn't if the product was too bad. So there's that. Take that with a grain of salt. How did we get here from talking about overpriced table extensions to home pages? You're a weird lot out there. Oh yes, we started at CMOD, and hence we came to 6 more vodkas. No, James, we do not want more tables. You can talk about fire sale all you want. I'm just going to ignore that, Jill. We were talking about expensive stuff Squarespace fits. To be fair, I don't know how much Squarespace asks for doing anything, so could be, maybe. I still haven't heard about what Asmodee slash FFG is going to do with the license they bought of Simon. So I mean, talks about tariffs and all seem to have been going back. So I feel that's a bit harsh, James. Fantasy Flight Games prior to the acquisition by Asmodee wasn't too bad. At least at that point in time, card decks for the living card games and miniatures for X-Wing came on a regular basis. Yes, Nightwolf. Asmodee is that carrying that debt. That's what they did when they split the company. Yeah, that's the thing. But I still I am of the opinion that you can't blame FFG or Atomic Mass Games for faults that have been pushed upon them from the higher ups. That's like we would be blaming Tom for not making sure the forums were always top notch because somebody higher up didn't put any uh, high, what's it called? High importance or whatever. I'm missing the word. Could be business daddy. Could be anybody. I don't know. Let's face it. That homepage has been priority. Thanks, Stanley. The webpage has been limping along more or less since the launch of 2.0. They started with many great ideas, and they in the very early weeks and months, errors were caught and fixed. But at some point, that just went and stayed on the same level. The trick is you should be letting technical debt accumulate at all, but that's preaching to the choir. Well, James, that's a question nobody can answer but you. But to be fair, there are other companies fumbling websites all the time. Uh, one of them being my current friendly game store, not local, that where I buy all my stuff. They are in the middle of reworking their shop system, and this thing is getting horribly slow. Plus, I get now a Cloudflare warning every time I visit that page. It's just annoying. Yeah, Wonky Goblin, that's what we said all along. It's it's the small bicycle that is made to do job of a lorry. Did they? Might be. I can't remember. Thing is, some of you may have seen the link I posted in. I think it was last week or yesterday. I can't remember. When Visa War 1.0 had games in their lower bar, single player games, which is I find hilarious. No, nobody would dare to put something like that on their homepage these days. I do not think it's a question of speed, Dutch. Demon Sub, I'm going to say, and this is a pure assumption on my part, that the homepage that's made for Wayland games is maintained by an external company that needs to be paid every time they touch anything. Hence, there will be a bill to foot, and I'm pretty sure Wayland is not putting money into OTT apart from the uh, current giving away of vouchers. My guess is that Wayland sees OTT currently as a good place to put in ads without paying any money. Let's put it that way. I'm pretty sure they um, leverage the YouTube channel and the exposure that OTT has very much. It's a place to get people to visit Wayland games. Yeah, that's probably not untrue. Maybe that's the thing, Demon Sub. We need to keep the Johnsons busy so they're not on screen anymore. Oh, that would be a shame. Yeah, but many things could be so much more if it wasn't for the money. And there are some things that always annoyed me when it comes to media leverage within OTT. They do have uh, an Instagram account that hasn't been used in years. Why? Probably because nobody knows it's existed. I mean, let me just take a peek. If the site is running at all. Scroll down to all the buttons. Where did I see that? Of course, when you're looking up stuff you want to see and you can't find it, it's never the way you want it. Oh, I can't find it. There was another thing that annoyed me that they had implemented and are not using. Yeah, Zoidpin, and I think that's probably a problem. There's nobody um, that's responsible for keeping the social medias up to date. Ben is doing reports on the site and is obviously doing the Facebook posts, but whoever runs has the login for the YouTube channel, does the uploads, and somebody has a login for Twitch, and that's about it. Man, that really annoys me now. Twitter, that's the one. Twitter, or X as it's called. They also have a account there that hasn't been used in ages. So, yeah. I mean, why? Tell me, please, why? Debatable, James. If they are so unpolitical, they can use Twitter. Um, on the other hand, what I just reminds me, they do have an Instagram account. Instagram is part of Meta, and if they haven't changed it, you can directly put things on Instagram that then gets posted on your page on Facebook. So it wouldn't be even more work to just put it on Instagram first. Well, they should just do with it what they have done before. If you go over Instagram and look at the Beast of War on tabletop account there, one of the last pictures you see is Sam. And that's been ages that Sam has been part of OTT. I'm not sure if there's two. I know there have been multiple um, Twitch accounts for some odd reason. But that's yeah, it's not really my problem, is it? Am I supposed to solve those problems? Nah, I don't think so. It's just uh, I would like to be in a situation where OTT is performing as they wish they would. Does that make sense? Good idea, what's up? Yeah, Jill, but also I feel they leave a lot on the table. They could automate so many things that are now just done manually. I know there's ways to, for example, to connect Facebook and your WordPress installation so that when anytime you put out something on WordPress, it gets plonked over to Face page. Even if there's no direct API, you can use services like if this then that. Oh, that might be because I'm so far away from the microphone. Is this now better, Jill? Yes, James, that's is still going and that's still working. And I'm pretty sure they're thriving because most social medias from Meta and all have cut their APIs, so you can't interact directly anymore. Reload. Yes, Dutch, that is true. IFTTT have reduced, like many other things have, the free version. But then again, it's just a thing of cost calculating. How much money do you need to pay someone to do a write up on an article on your homepage and do a summary on Facebook and put it out in time when you can just write the article on WordPress, put the publishing date on a timer, and just let it go? Oh, I believe you, James. I totally believe you, and I'm very happy that my WordPress installations are also minimal, that my shared hoster is not crashing all every 5 minutes. Yes, Dutch. Paste and copy is a potential, but still. Well, James, that took you long enough. Yes, Justin I think was a carpenter of sorts, and maybe a limited run of Justin builds your personal hobby table would be interesting. Oh, is Firefox having a memory overload on your part there, Jill? That's a shame. But at least you got it fixed. Or maybe something is running in the background, eating all your resources. Mwah. Well, James, they would be a one of a kind, handmade, with love, and each one licked. Well, Jill, if you don't trust the table, you can always add more screws and wood. Nobody's stopping you. Plus, they could just buy some cheapo tables from IKEA or somewhere else, slap a badge on them, and sell them on. So, had we said that Justin would do them, not Lloyd. Just James, please, no, no, no. Especially not in our hobby. Tell you what, there's a small miniature painting channel that I really got pissed off on. I'm not going to name anyone name here because A, it's a German channel. B, you wouldn't have heard of them before, but they actually used an AI created image so that the thumbnail would look like unpainted painted miniature, but the actual miniature they painted looked nothing like it in the picture. I mean, come on, people. I know you're desperate for clicks and views, but you're not helping yourself by doing that. It's just, that's people seeing that picture and thinking, oh, that's a nice miniature. I want to have my miniature painted like this. Let's see how he does it. And then it's a different model, it's a completely different color scheme, and it doesn't even come close to the level of detail the AI painted it. Yeah, James, I get that, but it's just Like a friend of mine said, this AI stuff is basically putting money out of artists' pockets. And that's just no. It's all fun and games up until that moment you start making money with that. Welcome, Nick. You're late to the party. I hope you still have some drinking to do. Yeah, Wonky Goblin, I get that, but in your case, you put in the work of making the renders, so you can still say, yeah, I made those, and not just go, weird thing in the cloud on somebody else do thing. The STL you create is your product. So I'm not going after anybody who's doing any STL creations and showing off the renders, because yeah, that's what you get. You get a digital file that looks like this until you print it. And the printing results completely depends on how you print it, where you print it, and with what settings. So you're not misrepresenting, you're presenting the digital file. While there's always the little cracks for the fluids to go in. Yeah, I think the if we go to a different section, if we look at metal miniatures, I feel those really benefit if you have a picture taken from a metal miniature that's primed, maybe put on a wash so you can see the details and no lights is glaring off them. I'm not sure they've dropped it, Jill. I'm pretty sure that I've seen one or two thumbnails for the XLBS that's at least in parts not manual labor. Especially given the fact that Warren is such a fan of using it to create stuff. Drink, says James Cutts. Did anybody say Chindits? Yeah, Wonky Goblin. That's the thing I'm talking about. Because if you've ever tried to take a decent picture of a untreated metal miniatures, that drives you insane. Unless you're very good at photography, and I'm not. And I think the early Games Workshop catalogs weren't even photos, but scans of the sprues, maybe. Good night, Dutch. See you next week. Oh, it's such a shame that A, I can't share the music that's currently running with you, and B, that Jerry can't hear them. Because that's a lovely random assortment of Temple of the Dog, Pearl Jam, Rage Against the Machine, and all those lovely songs. Makes me all feel old and soft. They used boot polish on the bare metal miniatures of the old Games Workshop catalogs. No, James, no. Why would anybody be doing that? No. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, shame you're not live. You can't see the chat. And I'm not going to repeat those words. City in France. No, I didn't. But then again, I really didn't look at Pillage. So, did they do very much many stuff of that? I can't. If Pillage has used AI art stuff, or did other people use AI art for Pillage? I feel like we're currently drowning in uh, fresh games. I really have a hard time keeping up with everything that's being released left, right, and center. Oh, Jill, that's that's not good. At least they could be sticking to, yeah, this is AI created. James, are you talking about the Prussians on my part, which I have shown off on camera way back when? Oh, oh yeah, that's bad. Hey, look, our nice brushes you can use to paint stuff, and this is a video you made by the means of AI. Good night, Wonky Goblin. Yeah, that speaks to a level of separation from knowing your audience and really understanding where your audience is at. Jesus Christ, doing AI promotion or for artists, I think that's adding insult to injury. Whew. I mean, some some artists have used AI to, I think, their detriment. Uh, One of them comes to mind is the band Saxon using AI to create a music video for their music, which is at best. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the music video Guillotine from the band Saxon. The song is nice, as always. The video is terrible. If there's any hobby tool I'm looking forward that could potentially reach the European market sooner than later, it's the oh, they're called again. Hold on, I don't want to misname that. Can I find them? Of course not. This is going to take a second. Bear with me. That's the right channel. No. I hate it when I can't find stuff. Hold on, this is this is bad. Let's go here. So now Goblin Hobbies doing stamps with dedicated special what are they called? I can't remember. Those metal thingies. Plates, stamping plates. Well, that's obvious. I've looked at these and those are interesting. And if they ever come here to, let's say, get individual stamping plates, I'm really tempted. If they ever get properly released on shops. Goobertown Hobbies is one part of Goblin Hobbies. He and Brent and Casey, Goobertown Hobbies and eBay Miniatures Rescue. So it's this. Those guys are doing it. I'm not sure Jerry is having any leverage on there. A, he didn't have the idea. He just talked about it online. And B, those two are not making any what do you call it? They're not claiming that they're doing a new product. They actually are very open and upfront about what this is and where this comes from and what you can use aside from their official stuff. So they are rather convincing, and the one thing that they have going for themselves are the stamp plates with special made shapes and stuff you can put your paint in. Yep, they are not cheap. That's that's very true. But then again, they have been to Adapticon, I might almost want to say, and they've been sold out almost immediately. Where the profit margin can be calculated rather easily, I feel. The silicone see-through stamps you can get on eBay for not so much money. I'm not sure how much labeling the paints and the stamps is actually adding to the cost, but I feel it's not that much. I feel that the biggest cost factor here actually will be the metal, the laser cut metal plates, because they are purpose made and are in a currently still at a low production run, so I'm guessing those will be rather expensive. Yeah, Nick, you're right. Nail artists have been using this for very long time. But again, Brent and his colleague are not hiding the fact that this is not a new thing, but that they are making a product that is marketed towards wargaming. Yeah, true, James. That's a 200% marker, but then again, they are taking the risk. There's a video on their channel somewhere. Um, the initial product run has been paid for by Brent's savings. So I'm not really blaming them to try to make their money back. Yeah, I'm guessing that's my hope there, James, as well. If they started on a small project run to see if there's any interest at all, because let's face it, it could have gone the complete opposite way, and they would just be sitting there on silicon stamps that nobody wants. So yeah, it's a I would see this first generation as a quasi Kickstarter without a Kickstarter. So it's not a crowdfunding thing, but a real here's a product, we've made X amount, have at it. Hello, Meldroth, welcome. Yeah, especially if you're in a situation where you can't be really calculating your costs for that, because I'm not sure on the metal stamping plates, but I'm 100% sure that the silicon stamps and the paints, they come from China, and I'm pretty sure that got expensive very fast. So anyhow, that's a product I'd like to see come into stores here and be more affordable. And judging by the selection of metal plates they have, there's one or two in there that I really would see me use in the long run for multiple times. And maybe some entrepreneurs in continental Europe might see this on the side of goblin towns and go, oh, we can do that. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that a hobby company against the world would be nicking somebody's idea. I mean, surely it never happened before, did it? I know this will come as a hard cut for everybody. My can is empty, as is my head. We're almost at the tightly scripted 30-minute mark, and I'm sorry for everybody who just walked in the last 10 minutes. But I feel we cut the straw here now. No, the string, the rope, whatever. The line. I'll draw the line. I feel I want to go to bed. And I hope you have enjoyed the show. I hope you've got some hobby progress done. And hopefully Jerry will be feeling better next week, and that he'll be joining us once again. Yes, and if you've got ideas for things we can rant about, uh, send them on a postcard, put them on wherever you know where to find me. Just don't go to the forums on OTT because they are currently down, but Tom's working on that. See you next week. Ta-ta, bye. Boop.